Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again. And that must mean that I am Professor Robert E.G. Black, and this is the Groundhog Day Project.
It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
It's a thing where the same day keeps happening.
Time.
I wake up every day right here, right in Punxsutawney, and it's always February 2nd.
The last revision is what counts, apparently.
We are on minute 81 of Groundhog Day. Oh, we are almost to the final iteration of the loop. We're just a couple of minutes away. For me, recording, I might make it there today. For you listening, it's going to be a couple days. We start this minute with some weird dialogue, because Phil has just happened upon the old man in the alley, and he goes over to him and says, "Hello, father." And later he calls him dad, and before he called him pops, which is very weird. And as I've described before at the free screening of Groundhog Day in Woodstock, this is 2014 when I was there for the holiday, a little girl in the audience was like, "That's his father?" Like, she was so shocked and I think dismayed by this news because a minute later he dies. I find it weird that this is where the dialogue goes. I'm pretty sure that isn't in the script. That's a Bill Murray thing. Doing the year of the blog, of course, finding an excuse to focus on something or another on a given day, because hundreds of entries in. For Mother's Day, I wrote about the mom references, like him calling Florence Lancaster Mama. And for Father's Day, I wrote about him calling the old man Pops and Father and Dad. It feels weird, but maybe it's a Midwest thing. I don't get it. He says, "Hello, Father. Let's get you someplace warm." And the old man smiles at him. Maybe today. I said that this is probably the same day as the thing with Ned last minute. And I was saying the universe is drawing his attention to the old man because he avoided the old man this morning. But the old man smiles and remembers him, so I think this morning he did see the old man. For whatever reason, Ned wasn't there to interact with him, or maybe, as I said, last minute, Ned did interact with him because he saw him giving money to the old man, and he's like, "I'll catch up with him later." And then he found him later. Ned's just stalking him and finding his moment.
In the original recording here, I skipped a line of dialogue that does sort of confirm that he saw the old man earlier, because he says, "Yeah, remember me," Phil does. Which, confirming that does make it weirder that he somehow didn't see Ned. I thought I said something in this recording somewhere where maybe it was when he first handed money to the old man many minutes ago that he didn't interact with Ned that day because he was turned away from Ned, so Ned didn't see him and recognize him. So maybe it was something like that. We just don't get to see it.
And then we just go straight to the hospital. A couple of things to point out. If you look in the background, of course, you'll see Joey, the kid who falls out of the tree. He has broken his leg because he has fallen out of a tree. He didn't die. He just broke his leg. He could potentially die from complications, some sort of blood clot or something later, I guess, but I don't think he dies. We are being told that that kid broke his leg. It's a fantastic little visual piece of information for later. And then the other thing to point out is the nurse behind the window, behind Phil, is, I believe, Harold Ramis' assistant. Guess who that is, right?
On the phone there is Kathy Kellogg, who has worked for me for a long time. She used to take care of my kids. Now she has a master's degree in psychology.
Wait, is this the same person who's driving the minivan in the very last scene? Am I conflating two different people? It's been a long time since I've listened to all of Harold Ramis' commentary track. In season 2, I was going minute by minute and listening to the track to see if there's anything interesting in that minute that Ramis comments on. This season, I'm trying not to do prep and research. I watched the minute once. I have the transcript of the dialogue open on the left half of my screen and voice recorder open on the right half of my screen. Keeping it simple. Season 3, the speed run, is supposed to be simple. In the hospital, of course, the nurse comes over to him. This nurse is, I don't remember the actress's name. I know I sent her a friend request on Facebook once. She never accepted it, and that's okay. On her name tag, it says that the character's name is, and first initial A, last name Broadbent, and she is an RN, specifically. She says, "Excuse me, sir, are you the one who brought the old man in?" Phil says, "How is he?" "Well, he just passed away." "What did he die of?" "He was just old. It was just his time." "First of all, fuck you. You don't know that. And as far as you know, he's very close to this guy. You don't just jump to, he was just old. What the hell? Her tone is wrong. I don't like it. And then Phil, of course, I want to see his chart. Excuse me. He walks past her. He's walking into that next room that, as I pointed out several minutes ago, this is the same room where we saw Phil's corpse. The angle, it's hard to be exact, depends on the lens in the camera, but I think it is literally the same gurney, the same hospital bed where Phil died, or where Phil's body was laying to be identified, is the same bed where the old man has died today. Which, on the one hand, is kind of poetic. On the other hand, also practically speaking, would make sense. Someone coming in today into the emergency room is put in that same bed because that's the bed that's available. The nurse follows him. She's like, Sir, you can't come in here. This is a restricted area. It's not that restricted. I mean, I guess it's restricted. There was a doctor in there with Larry and Rita when they came in to identify his body. But no one's in there. The other beds are empty. It's not like it matters right now. And as far as you know, he is related to this man. It is actually his father. Not that you heard him call him father. You don't know what his relationship with this guy is. Maybe you just need to calm him down a little bit. Don't tell him he was just old. It was just his time. You can't come in here. This is a restricted area. He just lost somebody, ma'am. Work on your bedside manner. I was like, where's the chart? And she says, sometimes people just die. And her tone here is better. But it's still not good that she's saying this less than a minute after he found out the guy died. You haven't even said, like, we tried everything we could. You haven't established that you did anything. You're just like, oh yeah, he died. He was old. It was his time. People die. It's a little dismissive and rude. Phil's answer, of course, we won't get until next minute. And I'm kind of eager to get there. Sometimes people just die. Is she wrong? No. Is she wrong for saying it? Kind of. The timing's not good. I mean, this is a moment in the movie, this whole sequence with O'Reilly dying, where there was a point in the middle of my year of doing the blog where it wasn't as sad anymore, and I kind of felt bad about that. But then it got to where it was sad all over again, and now talking about it is kind of sad. Les Podwell has no lines of dialogue in the movie, but somehow you feel for him. You see feeling in his expressions when he smiled at Phil in the alley earlier in this minute, when he's so excited when Phil gives him an extra thing of food next minute. Without any lines of dialogue, he feels like a real person. And so it's bad, it's sad when he dies. And the world, the universe, the script, this nurse is telling us he was just old. It was just his time. Sometimes people just die. This isn't something we want to hear, but it is something, in order to be a mature adult, you need to sort of recognize. It's one of the things I've struggled with my entire adulthood, is not liking the idea that we die. I still don't like the idea that we die. I have my moments where I'm like, yeah, I'll be okay with it, whatever. This world sucks anyway. But most of the time I'm like, no matter how bad the world is, I'd still rather be alive than not exist. It's a lot to think about. We don't know what this guy's life was even like. We don't know how long he's been homeless, or at least destitute. Why he's standing out on the street, taking money from people. Not taking money from people. Getting money from people. Like, he's out there. He's not actively seeking their handouts, but he just put his hand out, I think, literally. But he's not making a big effort. He doesn't have a sign. He's just trying to survive, and meanwhile, there's a blizzard outside of town, and it's freaking cold, and he hasn't really had much to eat. And also, well, I guess he did have something to eat, because I think we're supposed to think Phil gave him money this morning. That big wad of cash. We know the other guy in the blue coat gives him money. Probably some other people. But the thing is, at a certain point, your health is doing so poorly that a good warm meal isn't enough. It's the lesson Phil's going to have to learn for the next one more minute of this. So, I'm going to go record that. Take care of the old people in your lives. Your parents, your aunts and uncles, a mentor you had, check in on them. Am I going to follow my own advice? Absolutely not. I'm busy right now. Yeah. Take care of others. Take care of yourself.
You were going to say that.
This has been a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find links to more at lemmingdrops.com or join the Facebook group Lemming Drops Studio Tour. Also, you can support all my shows at patreon.com/lemmingdrops.
What is wrong in the end which never comes? Or which comes again and again, lapping, like waves.
Since the Big Bang set everything in motion, everything that happens in this universe has to be the way it is. Particles unfolding the way they're destined to.
How do you sleep at night? You've never seen Groundhog Day?
Yeah, you know Groundhog Day is not a documentary.
Remember when Groundhog Day was just a movie?